Hey, I'm Bryce with UTKilts. I'm the owner and founder, and I'm happy to be here today to show you how to measure for a kilt jacket, regardless of whatever style you are choosing. Now, this will work really well for our special order kilt jackets, where you're needing to add in 5 different sizes, which includes the chest, the waist, the total length, the sleeve length, and the shoulder to shoulder measurements. And I'm going to show you how to do each one of those so you can get accurate measurements. So one thing I'm going to do in this as well is I have my mannequin here with a jacket on, so I'll show you exactly what we're doing and what ones we're measuring, so you'll know exactly what to measure, as there are a couple of measurements you can do here that do allow you to use your current jacket, whether it's kilt or not, to help with the measurements. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's take a look at the chest measurement. It's fairly simple. Get your tape measure, a fabric tape, not a metal tape. The metal tape won't work, and get it up to where it is comfortable. Make sure you're not holding anything in and you're not really pushing it out, just like a normal way you'd stand, basically. And then you just look down, take a look at your measurement. Mine is, you can see it's kind of loose. If I go down, I could probably go to a 41, but it's a little tight for me, and I prefer a little loose there, and I think it would be best for everyone to have it a little loose. So it shows a 42. Typically, just wear any shirt will work. It doesn't usually matter, but you want some shirt on because you're never going to wear your jacket without a shirt. So you definitely want what would typically at least something be on underneath the jacket. So that is your simple, easy chest measurement. Now let's move to the waist. All right, so now let's take a look at your waist. So you're going to want to go to your belly button. This may or may not be your kilt waist, and we'll talk about that when I bring the mannequin in to show you that. But you want to go where basically your biggest measurement is around your waist, and that's for pretty much everyone, the belly button. So you get your tape measure basically where you need it. Again, this should not be a tight measurement. It should be fairly loose. You can see I come up with a 36. It's pretty loose. Again, if it's slightly loose, it's okay. If it's a little tight, it gets a little bit difficult when you want to button up the vest or the jacket. So remember, the belly button, biggest measurement you can get, and that's what you want for the measurement on the belly. Now let me show you a couple of things on the mannequin as to how this may change. Okay, now looking at the mannequin, what we just measured, again, the chest was earlier. I don't typically show that. It's just right around here. Now, it's the waist. Now, depending on where you wear your kilt. Now, if you wear your kilt up higher, and this, for example, is your belly button, and you're going to have a kilt on, and you're going to have a belt and a buckle over top that, then you definitely will want to measure with your kilt, your belt and buckle. If the waist of the jacket, which is this spot right here, has to go over a belt and a buckle, then you'll want to do that. Now, I don't do that myself. That's just how I wear my kilts. All mine are worn a little lower, and you can see that's how I have this one on the mannequin. The waist isn't as high on this. Traditionally, of course, they're worn at the belly button. So think of how you're going to wear it. If you're not sure or you've never done it, then I wouldn't worry about it. Most don't end up needing to do this, but there are some that like to wear them up high, quite a bit higher actually, where the belt and the buckle and the kilt may need it to be added into that waist measurement. It's usually just about an inch or two, but you can measure that to be sure. But this is what we're measuring so that this will fit correctly and button up correctly. And that's regardless of what style you have. The Prince Charlie doesn't button, but the vest on the Prince Charlie does. I'm showing the Argyle here, but the vest on the Prince Charlie does. So you want to make sure that you get the correct waist measurement there. Okay, so now let's measure the sleeve. Now, this is different. Some people have their sleeve measurement like in their dress shirts where it says like 34, 36. That is not your actual sleeve. Those measurements you find are actually from the middle of your back to your shoulder and then down to your wrist. So what we want is just from the shoulder seam, and I'll show this on the jacket, what we're looking for, shoulder seam down to the spot on your wrist you want it to stop. So you want to stand just comfortably. Nothing, you know, you don't want to go up or, you know, try and reach down, just comfortable. And you want to get this, and this may help to have someone help you, but you want to get it right basically where your shoulder starts to come down. It's usually right where the seam is, and I can come in here a little closer. You might not be able to see it, but the seam right here on my shirt is typically about the spot. So I'll put it right up there, right where that seam is. And then I can go down and you can hold it out and you can kind of see where it's at. If not, you can you can hold it out straight, just grab a hold, and then once you let go, you can kind of bring it up because it's held where you had it. And then you can see that I can see where on my wrist it's going to fall. I kind of like around a wrist, not too far past the wrist, but again, I've helped a lot of people do this, and each person is so different on what they would prefer to do and what the length is on their sleeve. So now let's take a look at the actual jacket so you can see what exactly I'm measuring there in case there's any confusion. All right, so on the sleeve measurement, this is the spot we're measuring. So it's right where the seam of your jacket is. You should be able to can see that there. It's not up higher, it's not down lower. It's right where the jacket seam, and this is pretty much the same for all jackets. So this is one that you could actually get a jacket that you already have, kilt jacket or not, and you can measure the sleeve length and get the correct one. So you measure from there down basically to the end of your sleeve. Lay it out on the floor. Obviously standing up like this isn't the best, but that's what you'll want to use to measure your sleeve. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the shoulder to shoulder. And again, I'm going to show you now and on a mannequin, but I'm going to have someone help me. This is something you're going to have to do with some help, okay? So basically you'll want to turn around and you'll have them come in, and you're going to have them measure just from the edge of your shoulder to the edge of the other, which you can see there. Okay, so it's basically from here, almost shoulder seam to shoulder seam. Okay, so I'm going to show you on the mannequin because this is one that you can use a current jacket on to measure. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that with the jacket that's on the mannequin here in just a second. All right, so now let's look at the shoulder to shoulder. So what we were doing there is we were measuring this point here all the way to this point. So from seam to shoulder seam. We don't want to wrap it around the shoulders, and we don't want it to go a little bit, too short. It's where the seam of the sleeve starts and the other seam of the sleeve starts right at the tippy top is what we are looking for. That's the exact measurement. And this is another one that you can use an existing jacket or blazer, something that you have that that fits well, and you can use that to help you with your measurement along with doing a physical measurement. Okay, so now that we've done all those measurements, now let's do the last one, which is the total length. So there's a couple of things you have to do here, so be careful and watch carefully. You'll want someone to help you with this, as it's a bit tricky to do. So you've got to measure from the back, and we're going to measure from the back here, not including a collar. We're not going to include a collar. So you can see a t-shirt's typically a good one to use to help with where to start. So the base of the neck, which is basically right where the neck starts here, right at the end of the neck, down to the bottom. So if you have someone come in and they measure from the base of the neck all the way down to the top of your kilt. Thank you. That was my daughter who thanked me, so thank you. So you measure from the base of your neck to the top of your kilt. Once you've gotten to the top of your kilt, in order for you to get the right measurement, you need to go 4 inches beyond that. Okay, you don't want the jacket to stop right. If your kilt's here and jacket stops here, that's not going to be good. It needs to go down further. So you can do a little shorter, maybe 3, but I usually recommend about 4. As if the jacket's slightly too long, it's okay. I mean, if it's way too long, it's not good. But if it's too short, then you're no good. We do not want that to happen. So let me show you this now on the mannequin. Okay, so let's do the length. This is on an Argyle. I'll show you a Prince Charlie in a minute. Base of the neck to the top of your kilt. Let's say the top of your kilt is at 20 inches. Okay. And you want that to be, that's top of your kilt. Then go ahead and add 4 inches. You can go a little longer if you want. You could do 5 inches. 3 inches the least amount, but 4 inches usually is good, as that'll give you plenty of coverage past the kilt. So 19 plus 4 is 23. They're usually going to be around 23, 24, 25 for the average height guy. Some are longer, some are short. Jackets are kind of strange because each person is so different. If you have longer legs, shorter torso, or like me, I tend to have a longer torso and shorter legs. It just depends on you and your body type. So let's take a look at a Prince Charlie, because the measurement's the same, but I just want to see just want you to see how we make them. All right, so on this Prince Charlie, I zoomed in a bit so you could kind of see the bottom. You can see this is the actual bottom of the jacket that would go around front, but it has this long tail. We do not include that in the measurement. So we take your measurement down to whatever your length is. So this is actually 22 inches long. So this person would have been about 18 to the kilt, 18 or 19 roughly. But we do not include the tail down to the measurement. That would be for any jacket. If there's any one that we're doing that has a tail, it is not that we include. So it'd be the same. It would go down to the part that goes all the way around to the front as well. And that's it. I hope those measurements and that visual helped you see exactly what measurements you would need. Now, don't skip these. Do not just guess. I've had people do that. And that's a great and easy way to make sure you end up with a jacket that does not fit. And these are custom order items, so you can't return them. So make sure that you do the measurements. As a side note, the shirt, I have people ask me about the shirts I wear sometimes, and also the kilts that I show. So the shirt is available. It's the Not Today shirt. Sometimes earlier today it was kind of feeling that way when I was making this, but Not Today shirt, it's a great shirt. We have them on the print on demand in the t-shirt section. And then when I zoomed in on that Prince Charlie and you saw the tartan there, that was a Scottish National Weather, which is an exclusive tartan for UTKilts. So you'll find that there as well. If you have any questions, if you need any help, feel free to contact me. My contact information is right here. It'll be at the end of the video as well. And I'm happy to help out. It's better that you email me, 20 times and we get it right than you email me or text me nothing at all and it's wrong, and then you have something you can't even wear. So again, if you need any help, let me know. I'm always happy to help.